Hello, my name is Derek, and welcome to my course on how to cheaply merchant fulfill used books on Amazon. I will teach you everything you need to know about merchant fulfilling books on the world's largest store, Amazon.com. In this course, you will learn how to create an Amazon seller account, how to source books, how to list books on Amazon.com, how to ship books to customers, and most importantly, how to make hundreds to thousands in passive income.
Section 1. Why books?
Amazon is the world's biggest storefront. From day one, you, as a seller, can list products to sell on Amazon using their platform. You can even compete with Amazon themselves. As a beginner on Amazon, you are restricted from selling on most categories. However, books are always unrestricted. Selling books is how Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, started amassing his fortune and eventually built the company that we see today. You can step right into his shoes from day one. If you master selling books or other unrestricted products, you will eventually be automatically unlocked to sell other product categories. This is why selling books is a great introduction to selling on Amazon.com. If you can master the sale of books, you will be more prepared to take advantage of the massive buying season during the winter holidays. Even booksellers will pivot their business model to start selling toys and holiday merchandise during this time of the year to make huge profits. I know what you're saying. Why use books? Books are a great way to start on Amazon because guess what? Books are everywhere. You probably already have a bookcase full of inventory ready to sell right now. Used books are great because you can buy them very cheaply and potentially sell them for a very high price. It's entirely possible to buy a book from a thrift store for 50 cents or so and resell it for over $20. That may seem small, but that is a 3,900% return on investment. You can't get those kinds of returns on the stock market. When selling books on Amazon, you have two pathways: merchant fulfilled, or MFN, or fulfilled by Amazon, or FBA. With FBA, you send books into Amazon's warehouse and they ship to customers from there. With that pathway, you do not have to deal with customer support or shipping. Many sellers prefer this method of selling books. FBA is also synonymous with Amazon Prime. If you sell items through the FBA pathway, your products will ship to customers from Amazon's warehouse with free 2-day shipping. Customers will pay a higher premium for products sold this way. However, there are huge downsides to selling books with FBA. Among the cons to selling with FBA, there are a ton of fees. You've got an FBA inbound shipping fee. You have monthly storage fees. You have Amazon fulfillment fees, which is the pick and pack fee. Referral fees, which can be anywhere from 6 to 20% based on the product category. And most sellers pay about 15% per item. There is also a variable closing fee, which is about $1.80 for media products, like books. There's also the potential for lost inventory inside of Amazon's warehouse, or on the way to their warehouse. It can also take a while for your inventory to become live on Amazon.com. There are also split shipments. A split shipment is where Amazon will ask you to send your stock of books to a variety of different warehouse locations instead of one. This can cost extra money. It's also much harder to make a profit on most books. With selling books through the merchant fulfilled pathway, you control the means of shipment. You have complete control over your inventory. You can also be quicker to market with your books because you don't have to ship the books to Amazon, like on the FBA pathway. You are also able to sell way more books because your profit margins will not be eaten up by Amazon's FBA fees. However, like everything, there are some cons to using this process. You must pick and pack and ship the item yourself. You must keep the books in your own home, garage, or storage unit. You must prevent the books from getting damaged. And you must deal with customer feedback. For example, Here is a book that I want to sell through the FBA pathway. It is $9.99 used. With FBA, I have to pay a selling on Amazon fee of $3.30. This fee consists of the variable closing fee and the referral fee. The Amazon fulfillment fee, which is the fee for Amazon's workers picking and packing the book, is $4.78. The fee to ship the book to Amazon's warehouse is about 35 cents from where I live for a 1-pound book. My buy cost is 50 cents for the book. This leaves me with $1.06 profit. That is a 112% return on investment, which is actually pretty good. But if I were to sell the book via the merchant pathway, I can make more money for the exact same amount of effort. Selling the book using the merchant fulfilled pathway, I must package and ship the book myself. For USPS, the cheapest mail option for books, more often than not, is media mail, which is $2.75 for a 1-pound book, and up to 5 pounds, to anywhere in the United States from where I live. The buyer pays this shipping cost. I must set my price to $7.24 if I want to be competitive with the FBA price. The next expense is packaging. I buy bubble mailers that I use to ship books. They protect the book from damage caused by being tossed around in the mail delivery process. Buying in bulk, my cost per 8.5 by 12-inch mailer is 18 cents. The cost per LaserJet label is 2 cents. The cost of toner for the printer is negligible, at under 1 cent per label. My total cost of packaging is roughly 21 cents. The selling on Amazon fees are $3.30. My buy cost is 50 cents. This leaves us with a profit of $3.23, which is a 546% return on investment, which is much better. What does that difference in return on investment mean when trying to find books? It means that in order to make even a $5 profit on the same book using the FBA pathway, it has to sell for $14.62. Finding books that sell at that price point are much more rare. This is why merchant fulfilling can be much more profitable, because you do not have to sell your books for high prices to make a good profit margin. Using merchant fulfillment, I could get a $5 profit on a book priced at $12.07. There are much more of those $12 books around than the $14 books.
Section 2. Getting started.
When you're creating your Amazon seller account, the first major decision you must make is the choice between an individual and a professional selling account. If you're only looking to get your feet wet, an individual account is perfect for learning the ropes. For individual accounts, Amazon will charge a 99-cent per item fee that will be deducted when your item sells. In addition, you will not be able to set your own shipping rates. Amazon will default to a $3.99 flat rate for shipping media products, such as books. If your cost of shipping is greater than $3.99, then the extra cost will be extracted from your account balance. If you plan on selling more than 40 books a month right out of the gate, then you may as well go with a professional account. There is, however, a $39.99 monthly fee for professional accounts. Professional accounts have a great deal of benefits. You are able to upload spreadsheets and feeds that allow you to manage inventory much more easily. You can utilize third-party APIs for things such as inventory management and automatic repricing. You are also able to set your own shipping rates. As a merchant seller of books, it is a necessity to set your own shipping rates, which I will explain later in the course. With the professional account, you will be eligible for the coveted buy box, which puts your offer front and center ahead of all other sellers. You can also create permissions for multiple users. Going forward, you will need these things before you create your account: a valid email address, the address where you want the business to be run from, routing and account numbers for the bank account that payments will be made and received from, and an Android or iOS cell phone. I know you're dying to get started making money using the MFN pathway. Let's get a quick win. We are first going to create an Amazon seller account. You can access this page on your cell phone or personal computer. Go to sellercentral.amazon.com.
Section 3. Sourcing books.
Sourcing is another word for finding or procuring products to sell. One thing you will quickly discover is that books are everywhere. You can go into your own personal collection for an initial source to get started fast. Cheap, used books are most commonly found at thrift stores such as the Goodwill and Salvation Army. Craigslist is also another way to find cheap or free books. Even the dollar store sells books. However, you cannot sell them as new on Amazon as a new account holder. Another great source of cheap used books are library sales. BooksaleFinder.com is a database of all upcoming book sales in the US. You can search for various sales in your area, but be forewarned, library sales are very competitive. The most important thing when sourcing books as a beginner is to keep your cost per book as cheap as possible. When you are learning the ropes, you may make mistakes, and that's okay. When you are buying cheap books, the risks are minimized. Let's go over what types of books sell the most. The highest profit margins when it comes to used books are found by selling textbooks. They are typically used over and over by students and hold their value for as long as schools use them. College textbooks have the highest resale value and only typically peak in value during 2 times of the year. From mid-December to early February for the spring textbook season, and from mid-July to mid-October for the fall textbook season. High school textbooks and teacher's editions of textbooks have high resale value as well, and sell for more money during the fall textbook season. The next most profitable type of books are nonfiction books. Nonfiction books are on subjects such as biography, how-to, history, self-help, and business. The least valuable books are mass-market paperbacks, such as fiction and romance novels, and children's books. The only exception to children's books are pop-up books, which tend to have slightly higher resale value.
Section 4. Understanding sales rank.
Amazon wants to sell profitable books. They have developed a system for sellers to use that informs them of a book's value. It's called sales rank. Sales rank is a number from 1 to around 62 million for books. Other categories have different numbers. A sales rank of 1 means it's the most popular and fastest selling book on Amazon. The higher the sales rank, the less popular it is, and the less likely it is to sell. We want low sales rank books. Other product categories have significantly smaller sales rank ranges. The book category happens to be the largest category. That's why there are over 62 million entries for them in Amazon's database. For our purposes, and to get some quick wins, I would not sell any book with a sales rank of over 1.2 million. A 1.2 million ranked book is a book that is in the top 3% of most popular books on Amazon. One thing about sales rank that is most important to know is that it does not stay static. A book can be ranked at 1 million, and when a person buys the book, its sales rank will drop to 100,000 instantly. The longer the book goes without selling, the higher and higher the rank will be over time. There are third-party softwares that will show you sales rank analytics over time, but they do cost a monthly fee. If you are a professional seller on Amazon, it is highly recommended to pay for these sales rank tracking softwares. I will go over these types of softwares in my next course.
Section 5. Pricing.
This is a good time to talk about pricing, as this will inform your buying decisions. Only you can decide what level of profit you are comfortable with. Some sellers may sell bulk loads of books per day and accept slightly lower profits per book because they are saving on bulk shipping rates and bulk packaging, and they are happy to make $2.50 per book if they can process hundreds per day. If bulk buying is off-putting, you can do what many resellers do, which is to hold out for books that have much higher resale value but are much harder to come by. Think of a profit margin that makes sense to you and scan until you find one that nets you that much profit. When trying to calculate your sell price, don't even bother with trying to price your books against other high-volume sellers. These are professional operations with warehouses and employees. They can process hundreds of books per day. Because they ship so many books out, they receive drastically better shipping rates, which can be under $2 per item. It isn't uncommon to find a book that sells for $3.99 plus 1 cent. We do not want to price our books this low as a new seller, as we do not receive the same extreme shipping discounts as these mega sellers. If there are too many lowball offers for the book that you picked, put it back and try for another with less competition and better low prices. It is absolutely imperative that you always factor in your costs of doing business. When figuring out your pricing, always know what the cumulative cost of shipping and packaging are, in addition to your buy cost. As a new seller, always strive to get a 50% return on investment at an absolute minimum, after your costs have been taken into account.
Section 6. Setting shipping rates.
Part of figuring out pricing is setting your shipping rates. Amazon used to provide shipping credits based on the type of products you are shipping to customers. This is no longer the case. There is a lot of misinformation out there. You will have to set your own shipping rates. The shipping rate is what you charge buyers themselves to cover your shipping costs. If you are not setting your shipping rates and the customer asks for expedited shipping, you may end up paying way more than what is covered by the price of the book, and you will actually end up owing Amazon. Okay, so in order for us to get fully compensated for our shipping costs, we have to set our shipping rates. So I'm in the Amazon Seller Central, the main page. You want to go over to the top right and click Settings, and then we're going to click on Shipping Settings. And this is going to take you to a page where you can see your shipping templates. So whenever you list a book, it's going to automatically apply one of these templates. And what they do is it'll input the actual cost that you want to be reimbursed for as far as shipping. And by default, you're going to see this migrated template, and this yellow default button is going to be sitting next to that. We're honestly just going to totally ignore this. Now, if you are a professional seller, you're going to have to actually set these shipping rates. Because if you look here under standard shipping for the migrated template, it says $0.00 per order. That means that if we listed a book for $4, it wouldn't charge the buyer for shipping. So we would have to, have all of our fees reduced from that $4. So we want to always make sure that we're reimbursed for shipping. So we're going to actually create a new template. So we're going to go right here. We're going to click Create New Shipping Template, and we're going to we're not going to copy any content. We're just going to actually create a brand new one, and then we're going to click OK. Okay, and our template, we'll just leave it as section. We'll just type in test. As far as the rate model, we're going to use per item, and we're going to actually get rid of free economy, and we want to actually scroll down and get rid of 2-day delivery as well. And we're just going to only use standard shipping and expedited shipping. Now if we scroll over here, the section here, it's got the states for mainland United States. Now for these states, we're just going to go over here to shipping fee, and what we're going to do, we're going to set this shipping fee at $2.99 per order. Now in addition to that, we're going to add an additional $1 per item. So if you have a buyer that buys 2 of your books, and one is £1 and the other book is £2, it's going to charge the buyer $2.99 for the order, plus the $1 for the one book, and it's going to also charge them another $1 for the other book. And you can most of the time put 2 books in one mailer and send them out that way. Now as far as shipping to Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico. We're going to leave that the same. Now, realistically, almost all of your books are going to ship through USPS Media Mail, which is $2.75, at least from where I live. So by default, we're going to get $3.99 per order, no matter what. And that more than covers the $2.75 for media mail. Now we're going to scroll down to expedited shipping, and we're going to actually leave this exactly the way it is here. And we're not going to be shipping to Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico using expedited. Okay, so once that's set, we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we're just going to click Save. Now, if you want to make this template your default template whenever you list a book, you want to go over to the side here to the right, and where it says Edit Template, we're going to click the little down arrow, and then we're going to click Set as Default. So whenever you're using your Amazon Seller app and you're scanning a book to list it, it's going to automatically pop up with this template selected, and it's going to automatically apply that $3.99 for shipping. Okay, and that's basically how you set your shipping settings. When you are scanning for books using the Amazon Seller app, check the low used non-FBA price. If you want your product to sell before or soon after the lowest price seller sells their book, you want to either match their price or come in 1 cent below their price. Comparing apples to apples, customers will always choose the cheapest price. If the lowest offer on a book is $9.99 with free shipping, we want to price our book at $6 plus $3.99 shipping to match their price. Or we can price it at $5.99 plus $3.99 shipping if we want to undercut them by 1 cent. When sourcing books, always take into account your shipping fees when figuring out your sale price.
Section 7. Scanning and listing.
Okay, so to get your Amazon Seller app installed, we're going to go to the app downloading software. I have an Android phone here, so we're going to go to Google Play, and we're going to type in Amazon Seller app. And it's this first option right here. Now, I already have this installed, so I'm just going to click Open. Okay, and let's actually go back to the main screen. Okay, so this is the actual main screen. It's basically a smaller form factor of the actual Amazon Seller Central. And we can use this app to actually scan books. You can actually use the phone's camera to either scan the barcode or the actual cover of the book, and it'll pull up the data for that book. So what we're going to do, we're going to open the phone's camera, and you're going to click on this button at the top right, and it's going to open the camera. Okay. Now I have a book here. It is called Avocadonaria. Okay, so there's the book there. And we've got these different options here. If you scroll down, you can see, actually there's only 2 options here. So the first one, it says restricted. So if you look closer at that entry, it says digital ebook purchase. So we're not selling ebooks. We're actually selling a hardcover book. So it's going to be the second option here. So we're going to click the second option. And it's going to give us all the data about this book. We can see that it's 66,000 rank, which is pretty good. And if you scroll down a little bit further down here, we can see there's new offers for $13.51. And we can't sell new as a new seller, so we're going to click used. And we see that the low price for this book as a merchant seller is $13.50. Now if we click this tab here, we're going to see a full breakdown of all the fees associated with selling this book as a seller. If you click on this other tab, you can click to see what the Amazon fulfillment fees are, but we want the seller fulfilled. So we can see that if we want to sell this and match the low price, we have to sell it for $9.51. The shipping credits, according to my template, is $3.99. So total, the total price is going to be $13.50. If we click on fees, we can see that there's a referral fee of $2.03, and there's also a variable closing fee of $1.80, which is $3.83 in total. So we have to actually input our costs here. So let's say, for instance, we got this book for 50 cents. So we're going to type in 50 cents. And if we want to ship this book to a customer, if we ship it medium mail, it's going to be $2.75. So we'll put that in. And it's going to readjust our profit here. So if we look at down at the bottom here, it says that after the cost of purchase and shipping has been accounted for, we can make $6.42 on this book. Okay, so now we're going to actually list our example book from before. So I'm actually going to scan it one more time. So I'm going to click the button at the top right. It's going to open the camera, and we'll just scan the front of it. You can scan the barcode as well if you like, but sometimes it's just faster just to scan the front of the book. And we want to actually click the second option here. So we'll just click that. So if you look at the bottom right, there's a button that says list. We're going to go ahead and click that. And we have to input all the product details here. This first little drop down, it just tells you all the competing offers. We're going to leave that alone. The condition of this book is pretty good. I'm just going to say good for now. If you have any extra condition notes, you can add that here. We're going to leave that blank for now. Now, if I want to match the low price, all I have to do is click this button, and it's going to automatically set our price to $9.51. You can input your custom seller SKU or a custom number that you want to associate with this book. I'm going to leave it blank, and it'll automatically populate a serial number there. And as far as the fulfillment channel, we have two options here. We can either ship it myself, or we can ship it to Amazon and they can ship it. That would be the FBA pathway, but we're going to do merchant fulfillment. So we're going to click this first option, and we're going to go down to the bottom and click continue. Oh, and actually one quick thing, we're going to actually go back one page, and I neglected to fill in our shipping template and quantity. So if you look here, it says under merchant shipping group, we're going to click that, and it's already defaulted to my default template, which is this one here. I'm just going to leave that alone. And as far as quantity, we have 1. Okay, and we'll just go back down and click continue. Okay, so after this, we're just going to submit listing. Okay, and then it says it may take up to 15 minutes for this product to appear in your inventory. But that's basically it. And that's how you would list a book.
To learn the system, try scanning until you come across a book you would like to sell that meets your criteria, preferably under 1.2 million.
Section 8. Condition quality.
As a merchant seller on Amazon, you are responsible for customer support. Most complaints are due to two things: the package not arriving on time and the quality of the book. The criteria for a new book is this: a brand new copy with cover and original protective wrapping intact. Books with markings of any kind on the cover or pages, books marked as bargain or remainder, or with any other labels attached may not be listed as new condition. As a new seller, you cannot sell new books or rentals. For the used like new condition, the item may have minor cosmetic defects such as marks, wears, cuts, bends, or crushes on the cover, spine, pages, or dust cover. The dust cover is intact and pages are clean and not marred by notes. The item may contain remainder marks on the outside edges. The item may be missing bundled media, such as CDs. For the used very good condition, the item may have minor cosmetic defects, such as marks, wears, cuts, bends, or crushes on the cover, spine, pages, or dust cover. Shrink wrap, dust covers, or box set case may be missing. The item may contain remainder marks on the outside edges, which should be noted in listing comments. Item may be missing bundled media. For the used good condition, all pages and cover are intact, including the dust cover if applicable. Spine may show signs of wear. Pages may include limited notes and highlighting. May include from the library of type labels. Shrink wrap, dust covers, or box set case may be missing, and the item may be missing bundled media. For the used acceptable condition, all pages and the cover are intact, but shrink wrap, dust covers, or box set case may be missing. Pages may include limited notes, highlighting, or minor water damage, but the text is readable. The item may be missing bundled media. Unacceptable books are books that have missing pages and obscured or unreadable text. Amazon also does not permit the sale of advanced reading copies, including uncorrected proofs, or in-print or not yet published books. Do not sell unacceptable books. My suggestion, if you're doing large volumes of orders, is to classify your books into two categories, good or acceptable. This will streamline your process. The reason being is that very good and like new are very subjective to buyers. Buyers will most likely purchase a very good book over a good quality book. But if you fail to assign the appropriate condition or leave notes describing its condition, buyers are more likely to leave bad feedback, which affects your seller rating. Lower ratings are bad and could lead to missed sales or account suspensions. Buyers may not know the actual condition guidelines themselves when they buy books, and their idea of like new may not match up to what Amazon says it is. If they see even the slightest water damage, they will demand a refund or take it up with Amazon customer service, which may potentially lower your seller rating. If a book has highlighting or underlining, or a crease on the cover, or even the slightest amount of water damage, I list it as acceptable, and I write in the product notes exactly what is off about the book. Anything else in relatively good condition I will list as good. This will streamline the listing process and reduces the time between finding the book and getting the sale. It also helps to maintain a good seller rating by preventing refund requests. It is better to over-deliver on expectations rather than under-deliver. Make sure that before you purchase the books you want to sell, you want to do a condition check. I flip through every single page of the book quickly to spot any condition issues before I leave the sourcing location. My suggestion, in order to keep negative customer feedback low, is to automatically throw back books that have any of these: water damage of any sort. If it is a profitable book and the damage is minimal, sell as acceptable. Stains on the cover or page edges that cannot be cleaned off. Torn covers or missing pages. Uncorrected proof copies. Crushed books, which means that the cover and or pages will be curved. Or excessive writing.
Section 9. Storage and organization.
Depending on how many books you sourced, you will need a place to store them. The obvious choice would be a bookcase of some sort. If you are thinking about taking merchant fulfilling books seriously, you will need a lot of storage space. Craigslist or thrift stores are a great source of cheap or even free shelving. If you have neither nearby, you can cut a box in half and use those as a makeshift shelf. You want to keep the books from collecting dust as much as possible. Inventory space will quickly become a limiting factor, so always have room for inventory if you want to make more money. I will go over tips on how to quickly scale your business in the next course. Making sure that you have an inventory system in place is critical for fulfilling orders efficiently. I recommend, at a base level, organizing your shelving alphabetically, either by book title or author name.
Without an inventory management system in place, you will lose hours every week trying to find a book. That means less time for sourcing and making profits. There are software-based inventory management systems, but they will require a monthly fee. I will touch on these advanced seller tips in my next course.
Section 10. Merchant Fulfilling Supplies.
To successfully merchant fulfill books on Amazon, it will require supplies. Here is a list of items you will need: a digital scale, an inkjet, laserjet, or thermal printer. If you have a thermal printer, you will still need a regular printer for packing slips, ink or toner for the printer that you have, 5.5 by 8.5 labels for the printer that you have, regular printer paper for packing slips, mailer envelopes. I recommend using bubble mailers of at least 8.5 by 12 in size. You can use the thin polybag mailers as well to ship books, but it's not recommended. And you will also need priority mail envelopes and boxes, and these are free from USPS.com. Buying supplies in bulk dramatically reduces the per book cost of shipping, and it is recommended to buy mailers and labels in bulk of at least 100 or more at a time. My current per book cost of supplies is 21 cents, and that's for the label, ink, and the mailer. The mailers that I use are 8.5 by 12 inches. You can bring this cost down by utilizing thin polybag mailers when you're first starting, but is not recommended as books are more likely to get damaged in shipping.
Section 11. Shipping Preparations.
Okay, so in order to increase our efficiency when we're shipping books off, we want to set our packaging material dimensions. That way we can just simply click a drop-down menu and select the particular package that we want to utilize before we ship. So to do that, we're going to go to settings over here and we're going to click account info. And we're going to scroll down here where it says buy shipping preferences, and we're going to click that. Okay, and we are going to go down to preferences for all shipped from locations, and we're going to go over here to where it says edit, and we're going to click that. And there's already two package types that I've pre-put in here, and these are my two different types of bubble mailer. My default one that I tend to use most often is a 12-inch by 8.5 inch envelope. It's a padded envelope. Now, as far as the height, it's basically how wide you can fill it. And on the low end, it can, it can easily fit, 2 inches worth of books as far as thickness. On the high end, maybe 3 inches in thickness. But I just put 2 here. If it goes over, that's fine. As long as it fits in the bag and it seals properly, that's fine. So that's my default mailer. The other one is a larger one to where I can fit those larger kind of board books and hardback books. And that one is a 16-inch by 10.5 inch mailer. And again, it can be, extended in thickness about 2 inches or more. Let's say, for instance, we have a different type of package that we want to use. So we'll just click Add New Package. You can name it whatever you want. And then you just put in whatever dimensions it is. Let's say it's 8.5 by 5. And maybe you're shipping out a bunch of like romance novels or something. And that would be it. So you just put in the dimensions there. And let's see here. We've got the confirmation settings. So confirmation is basically, it's going to, if you have this set for all packages, it's going to basically, whenever the delivery person delivers the package, it's going to require a signature confirmation. I just always have this as none. I'm never shipping anything that's super expensive, so I just leave it at none.
Now, if you want to enable it for super expensive books, you can click this button here for 4 packages with a value greater than. And let's say, for instance, any book that's more than $100, we can put 100 in here. And if the book is, it sells for more than that, then it's going to require a signature upon delivery. I'm just going to say none for now. In insurance, you can set insurance to cover the cost of the package should it get lost or something, and it's gonna actually charge you that insurance. I always leave it at none. You can feel free to add whatever you want here for all packages or for packages over a certain value, and then you just click save. Now, if you go to when you're about to ship a book, let's actually do that right now. Let's actually show you. So I have some unshipped orders here. We're going to click this, and I'm going to go over here where it says buy shipping. So this is the window that you see when you're about to ship an item. I'm going to click buy shipping here, and you can see the order summary here. We've got the address of the person that we're shipping it to over here. The title of the book, the condition, the actual unit price, proceeds, how many they ordered. Now, if you look over here, it says complete details of package shipment you want to buy. So if we click on packaging here, it's already set those templates that we have set earlier. Now you can just select the one that you want, and you can see we have the one that we just made. So let's say, for instance, we're going to put it in this envelope, and let's say, for instance, the book weighs 10 ounces. Okay, it's going to populate a list here of shipping services that we can use, and by default it selects the cheapest one. And this person ordered standard shipping, so any of these are all standard. US Media Mail is the cheapest, and that's usually what I send books through with USPS. We've got US bound printed matter, and then there's first class. If you click on see all options, you can see a bunch of different types of shipping services that we can buy from, or rather through Amazon. And obviously the cheapest one is US Media Mail. There's a bunch of DHL ones that are kind of grayed out. We can't really use those. If you wanted to go faster for whatever reason, you can just select any of these other ones, and it's going to charge you that much. It's going to charge that to your actual seller account balance. So we're just going to leave it at USPS Media Mail, and that's going to cost us $2.75. Okay, and then basically you can set your label orientation, like where the actual label is going to print on your printable label. Okay, now once you click this buy shipping button, it's going to basically tell Amazon that the book is shipped, and it's going to notify the buyer that their book has been shipped, and that's when it's going to actually pay you out to your Amazon account balance.
Now let's take a look at what it actually looks like to merchant fulfill books as a new seller.
Okay, so this is me actually fulfilling my orders here. Now, the first thing that I do is I print out all the packing slips, and after that I go and find each of those books, and I have them in kind of easily manageable stacks. Now, on the buy shipping page, you have to actually input the weight of each book, and our actual package dimensions are easily selectable from a little drop-down menu, but you do have to actually weigh each individual book, and I just use my scale. So after I have weighed all the books, I keep them in order, in the same order that I picked them, and I put them in neat stacks just like I have here, and then I print all my shipping labels using my laser printer. And once I have all my packing slips and my shipping labels I keep them all next to each other so I can see the packing slip with the address and the name of the book. So I grab the packing slip and I double check the address and the name of the customer as well as the name of the book. I grab the required book and I put both of those in the actual shipping envelope, and then I seal it. And after I seal it, then I grab the printable label and I peel off the side that I need and I stick it on the envelope. Now, as far as efficiency, I haven't really calculated this, but I can easily get about 30 books in about half an hour to 45 minutes. And that's picked, weighed, labeled, and everything.
Section 12. Shipment.
Save time by scheduling a pickup with USPS by going to USPS.com. You cannot schedule a pickup unless at least one of your packages are being sent priority mail.
Section 13. Payment.
Amazon will disperse payments every 2 weeks for new sellers. Some experienced sellers have gained the ability to cash out their Amazon funds every day. As a new seller, our disbursements are limited to every 14 days. Amazon will hold funds back if there are any pending product sales, fees, refunds, chargebacks, or A to C guarantee claims. So if you're curious to see what your payout is going to be every 2 weeks, we're going to go over to Amazon Seller Central, the main page here, and where it says Payment Summary, we're going to click View Payment Summary. And it's going to give you a breakdown of all it's going to give you a breakdown of all the charges that were placed on your account and any credits. So whatever rolled over from the previous balance, you're going to see that at the top. And then the next charge is your product charges. So that's basically all of the total sales that you've made, the actual dollar amount that's owed to you. So if you look at the promo rebates, there's that they're going to subtract from that, and there's also the Amazon fees, like the selling on Amazon fees. That's this, and then other, where it says shipping and gift wrap credits. This is basically all the shipping charges that we made sure that we were reimbursed for from the customer. So like the $3.99 shipping. This is that accumulation right here. Any refunds, like any books that for whatever reason were returned. And we've got over here shipping charges. So anytime you click the buy shipping button, it's going to charge you that amount. And then as long as you are making sure that you have that shipping charge accounted for in your shipping template, you're going to get reimbursed, and it'll appear over here. And then the closing balance is here. Unavailable balance, this is money that's tied up in pending orders, guarantee claims, chargebacks, and stuff like that. And then at the very last part here, this is the actual amount that's going to be dispersed to you every 2 weeks, and this number will actually increase over time, and then you'll see that that payout every 2 weeks. Now, if you notice this button here, this request transfer button, you don't want to click that. The request transfer button should not be used. It may be tempting to push this button, but do not press it. It will potentially transfer any available balance within 3 to 5 days, but it will push your natural disbursement day forward by 2 weeks. This can potentially ruin your cash flow and prevent you from buying inventory to sell. There are conflicting reports of how this button can be used. For new sellers, my recommendation is to leave it alone. Be careful.
Bonus lecture.
It probably goes without saying, But once you master the process of selling used books, the same skill will transfer to the sale of other items. Most new sellers are unlocked in these categories. If it isn't on this list, chances are you can probably sell it. But make sure you aren't restricted. During the holiday season, the sale of toys surges, and it is possible to make a large chunk of your yearly sales during the 4 weeks after Thanksgiving. You can ship toys directly to customers from your house through merchant fulfillment. You can list the toys in the store before you buy them. Sometimes your item will sell before you even leave the store. There is much more to look forward to other than books using merchant fulfillment. With toys, there may be brand restrictions, so always use the Amazon Seller app to double check for restrictions.